So, um, I'm learning so much about this. I have a few of them here, the crystals that I'm using and everything like that. I'm learning so much. I I think I have about like 8 or 9 of them in that crystal, that little bag I had. I'm using every method I can against this type of situation with these attachments, or that I know of. So I did 4 days with the scrub in the shower, but, using this and this one, and then there's another one, a white one. I have that on my body right now. But 4 days of that for what I could afford. Separate days. They have 3 days straight, 7 days straight, or 9 days straight. You can either put it, the spiritual cleansing salts in your bath water, or you can use it as a scrub. Mix it with some water, not too runny, not too dry, and put it all over your body after your shower. Turn the water off, and just put it on your body, all over your body. Make sure it's enough to do that, and stand in there for about 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long you feel you're able to do it. And then do that for 3 days straight, 7 days straight, or 9 days, and so I'm assuming that since it was 4 days, that I'm gonna need longer. Obviously, I'm gonna need like 7 days, or 9 days. I will say that this packet, this right here, when I find out what the name of this one is, because it's the first one I've used, I'll let you guys know or what have you. But this seemed to be the strongest. It had cinnamon in it and some other stuff, but it was a cleansing salt as well. All of these are. This is the second strongest, I would say. Protection from evil. This was all $7. This came with a packet of 2 cleansing, spiritual cleansing salts. So this was like extra, but this was the strongest one than that packet. And like I said, I did 4 days, and I did notice a difference with this one. It was very strong. I thought they were gone the first application. This is the first one I used, and I thought they were gone. These attachments, these spirits, entities. So I just use it as a scrub in the shower. After the shower, apply the scrub on all over my body. Stayed in for about 30 minutes with this one. Actually, maybe even longer than that, but I thought they were gone. They thought they were gone too. I used this one the next day or something like that. Yeah, twice the next day, before 24 hours, and then I used it again the next day. And then after that, I used a white one that they sent me, and it had mixing, some other things mixed in there, and then again the next day, the following day, because it was 2 in that packet, and that was about $10. Yeah, but this came with that, and then this one was about $7. So it's not that expensive, really. When you think about it. So that's 4 days in a row. I would say with each one, I experienced something. The aroma here, they don't like the smell. Something about the smell, but it smells good. But they don't like it. Something about it, so they'll stay away from you after you get out the shower. It seemed like this wasn't working, so it takes about 5 to 6 minutes, 7 minutes for it to start to kind of work. But if you stay in there for about, I would say 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you have to be super positive about it because you can still hear them, and you know, it seemed like it's not working. It just seemed like it's not working, but just stay for about 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. As long as you can stand it. As long as you can stand it. If it gets weird and all that, just get out. Because it still seems like they were able to be active with this one. But with this one, they weren't. It's like it pushed them back so far that it wasn't even funny. You know, they weren't able to play games when I had this one on. Okay, but with this one, it took a minute. But when you get out of the shower, or when you get out of your bath, and you stay for like 15, 20 minutes, or however, 30 minutes, whatever, you're going to be satisfied with the results, because the aroma is like, you know, in your skin. It's on top of your skin. Make sure if you're in the shower, don't rinse off so much, because then you're rinsing it off. As opposed to a bath, you don't have to worry about that. You just get out, and if you do, you know, you do a quick rinse, something like that. You know what I mean? Because you can take it off. I'm sorry, I have to do all of this. When I do this, it's like I'm saying no, and it's a way of me protecting my spirit, and you know, so from them trying to call themselves taking it, you know. Actually, had them say that, you know, somebody was pulling them back, like an angel, or you know, a force from my spiritual team, you know, angels pulling them back. You're fading right now. Like being taken away from me because they're doing too much. I didn't expect all this, but this is why I normally am having to go through. This is how I, you know, am fighting this situation, or how I know to, you know, because I don't want to say spiritualist, but you know, person of faith, person who believes in God, a person who believes in prayer. So that much Christian. So, but you know, I would say, you know, whatever works best for you. I have these crystals here, and you know, whatever your faith is, or whatever, you know, your belief is. But for me, I'm saying this is what worked for me. And then yeah, so the scrubs work really good. Also, the Himalayan salt, preferably the bigger crystals, not the granulated one, the fine one, like sugar and salt. Like that one, it works. But this one is stronger, or strongest. I usually, sometimes I take it, I put it over my head, or you can put it in anything, you know, whatever you have. Sometimes I have to place it, like, you know, near me or somewhere, wherever I feel like I'm being physically negatively impacted, you know, with these, you know, I say psychic attacks, but it's, some people, there may be a clear difference here, because to me it's spell work, you know, with these deities and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the Himalayan salt works really well, especially as far as, somehow it sucks them in here. There's a lot of, I've already shared, like, a lot of information about about them. You know, I got this from, I think this packet right here. This came in here. Protect yourself from the dark forces. They have a lot of things in here. Just a quick checklist. Well, actually, let's just go inside and do the. I already read this on like my other video and everything, but I'll just go through it using salts. And then they have something about like placing bowls of salts, you know, around your home and things like that. And I would advise, like, you know, getting rid of it before like 10 or 11, especially at night, or 9 p.m. because they're spirits. They said they're spirits of the night. So I had a really not good experience with that. Somehow other spirits were invited, you know, and came, or at least that's what they said. But I could actually sense and feel like that they're like, I guess what they're saying, spirits going in and out of, my body, or that was a lot of them, something like that, because of the salt. Like, but I had it too close to my body. They're saying to keep it in the corner of like your house. It's supposed to go in away from you. But I was thinking that, as a form of protection, but it ended up being like the worst idea. And so like yesterday, I had a glass bowl. So they want it has to be a glass bowl, like glass bowl, or containers. Anyways, and I put it in the corner. I did that, but I got rid of it before it was time. Actually, I did it a little later, like around after 9 or 10, but still before like it got too late. Like too late, especially like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like it's too late. So I don't know about that, but that's my experience. So I would say, get rid of it like after 9 or so, and then try to put something else up. If you want to have that, like your crystals or maybe your incense or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you're comfortable with, because some people, they're not into that. And if it's something that you feel like you're not for, or something like that, then do that. Then, think of something else. Spiritual cleansing salts, like what I was just talking about, for your body, doing this daily, they recommend. At some point I'll read this again, but I'm just kind of briefly trying to go through it. They have spiritual cleansing soaps. Haven't gotten any of those, but I think I will eventually do that. House clearing products like pine saw, using pine saw, sage. Let me see. Used every day. In severe cases, often need to be used every day. Like if they're attacking you, or you have a negative impact on your physical body. You have like pain, or some type of discomfort, or irritation, or something that you just can't deal with. So I guess that's what they mean. Incense sprays, in severe cases, often need to be used every day. I don't know what that is. Incense sprays. I think I missed that the first time I read this. Some cases, once a month. You'll know. It says sage, so that's the only thing I would be using. Mugwort, Mugwort, frankincense. Okay, so banishing incense. This also came of 4, so this is only 1 left. This also came with this. Okay, with this one right here. A nice little envelope package. That it actually worked. It actually worked. But after you use it, somehow they're able to, like, it doesn't work or something like that, I guess. And then you have to try again in a few hours or something. You have to wait and then use it again or something like that. But the very first time it works, it just pushes them back or keeps them away. And then you have the water glasses of water placed around the house. Now I have to say, I've used this, and I have to say, now they'll say, these entities, these spirits, they'll say, oh, we're entering your body, we're in your body, this, that, and so I happen to be washing out a blender of mine as a glass, of course, and watching the water, waiting for the water to fill up, so that's the way that I would rinse it. I'm trying to get stuff out, and it happened to fill up, and they actually fill up, and I watched it fill up, because I'm waiting for it to, and then even overflow. And then what I learned is that, and then I turned off the water, and then for some reason, and then I noticed that they sounded far away. And I was like, oh, I wonder what happened, because it's different things that can make them, have to be dispersed out of your body, or have to be, as they say, casted out of their body. And so they were gone. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I need to finish what I'm doing, So, hold on. So they sound far away, And what they're saying is when I do that, they're saying is when I do that, I cast them out of like my body, and they go out that way. Okay. So, but I had the glass of and I turned off the water, and what I remembered is that I had just read this, and I was like, wait, what? And they're saying when you look and you fill this glass up, you fill a glass up with water, we are casted out of your body if you look into it. And so that's what it is, a glass full of water. And you but in particularly this situation, when you fill it up and you look at it from the first time it hits that glass until it fills over, you literally cast them out. But also too, let's say you just had a glass of water and you looked at it from the side or just directly, it can cast them out, because they say it happens like with the toilet. I mean, there's so many ways to cast them out of your body. If you just like, it's some pain, they're causing some type of pain, physical pain to you, or some type of discomfort, or you just want them away from you ASAP. You can look into any water body. Get some water, a glass of water, bowl of water. Of course, you wouldn't need a bowl of water, but glass of water, pot of water. I would say where you can actually look into it, or from the side, even as you're coming close, you're approaching it, they can be casted out. This is what they're saying. These spirits, these entities, and the toilet. When you use the bathroom, when you pee, that when you urinate, that it expels them. Like almost every time it works. They're like, you're getting rid of us. We're leaving out of your body, through your urine. So that's a sure way that you can get them out of your body if they're causing you any type of pain, or any type of something that's going on. Because sometimes they could be around, and sometimes they seem like heavy weight. You know what I mean? So that's a way. But the thing is, them coming back is the issue. So I'm constantly, always trying to cast them out. This way, with my hand or what have you, by placing my hand on my head or something like that. It's just various different ways that I've learned. I'll talk more about some other ways that you wouldn't even believe or you wouldn't even think. But this is what they're telling me, you know what I mean? So that's how I'm learning about it, So yeah, the water in the glass is a very efficient way. You looking into a glass of water, or you filling a glass of water up, glass up with water, and then looking into it. Also, this one here says putting salt in it. Place salt in glasses of water around the house to trap negativity. So I did that too with this container. So now it's just being used for that, because this is for me in severe cases. For me, it's severe because it is, how many it is of them, and the different things that they've been doing, you know what I mean? So I put salt, this one here in there, and they always say, don't go over there, no, don't look into the glass, but it always casts them out. It's supposed to trap them. I'm sure that it did, you know what I mean? Also with the black tourmaline, you can look Google this, because I don't have it before me because I put it outside. I've actually used it. Let's say this was it right here. It's actually black. It's a crystal, and it's very strong. It's for to be used against evil. Okay, so I have it here. Because it actually came with that little bag. It's a little small one in there. It's black tourmaline is in that bag too. Black tourmaline, so it's black. The second word is Tourmaline. So I may not be pronouncing it right, okay? Black tourmaline is a protective stone which repels and blocks negative energies and psychic attacks. So I would say that's where I got the word from, but yeah, psychic attack, that's what it's saying. Black tourmaline also aids in the removal of negative energies within a person or a space. Black tourmaline will cleanse purify, and transform dense energy into a lighter vibration. What I heard is that it's supposed to be, against, like evil spirits, or and that it traps them into that crystal, but so when I've used that, against them when it was real tough and serious, I would grab that and just try to see if it would, do something. And what I found is that it literally like zaps them. You can hear, you can see it like, I mean, you don't hear anything, but that's what it seems like it does, to these entities when they're, really doing too much, or I don't know, when they're, for me, I've noticed when they're really hype or they're really aggressive. That's the word. When they're really aggressive and they're really like meaning you harm, you know what I mean? I've seen that that's the best. It works really good with that. I mean, every time that I've used it, I see that they get sucked into it. But of course, there's no sound, but that's what it seemed like, because it seemed like, and then they quiet, and then they get quiet. But you can still hear them just tiny bit, but they're trapped into that black tourmaline, okay? I have one that's about this big. I've shown it before on my other videos. You can see it about that big and about that wide. And it costs about maybe $21 or something like that. You can look online for black tourmaline. That a second word is tourmaline. Okay. And then what I did was I took it and placed it outside. I actually covered it, with some clothing I had or whatever that I'm not using, or you can put it any type of cloth or what have you. And I trapped it. I also put it. I did that, and I put it outside. And so that's a way of keeping them away from you, or keeping them trapped, because you still may hear them. And then some of them, they actually stayed outside, but some of them you can still hear them, but their effect on you is less. Okay. And then last night, that was a few days ago, I did that twice. I had another encounter with them, and I noticed they were in that, mode of just being super aggressive, you know what I mean? So I grabbed that black tourmaline, because it says it's against evil, spirits like that. It's to trap them, or to, cleanse the environment from evil, So they were super aggressive. Yesterday, it was an incident that was going on. I really had to, stand my ground and fight against it. And I grabbed it, and as soon as I grabbed it up, and I was outside, it just started sucking them in, and I'm just like, wow, started, trapping them in that black tourmaline crystal. So that's good. That's a good, that black tourmaline is really good. And I wrapped it up in the material that I had, and left it outside. That one stayed outside. Again, another one before that was the same thing. It was in the same energy, being super aggressive to me, and, being of evil, and so it zapped it. The first one zapped it, and then, or trapped it, and then I wrapped it up, and I outside, and I left it outside, and I came in my house, and that spirit stayed outside. Now, I did it before, like another time, probably before those two. I mean, that first one, and that one stayed outside too, because it was super aggressive. It was super aggressive. And then, I think each time, I think I did that about 4 times with 4 of them. It was like a female voice, and then 3 males. And they were left outside. And then when I did hear them again, it's like the effect, whatever they were trying to do, it wasn't that strong. So it's the same crystal. I don't have 30 of these things, I just have one. And so, but it's like different times. I would say well, once it happened one time, for some reason it seemed like they, all of the witnesses, I was like, they don't want that to happen again. So and then yesterday I had a situation where, there was one that seemed to be doing some weird stuff or saying something, like humming or something like that, and but it seemed like it's like wicked, like it's evil, like it's trying to like put like some sort of hex or spell or something like that. And I didn't like it, like the energy of it. I didn't like it, or I don't like it. So I just grabbed that little piece of tourmaline that was in that little bag, and I was in here, and I just was trying to find it. I can't see these spirits, and it seemed to have zapped them in, but I could still hear them. A little too louder, but with that other one, you can barely hear them, but you can still hear them. So I'm like, okay, well, let me and I just did it to stay for a little bit, a minute or so. And then what I did was I decided to take it around to the front. I have a front and back, so I took this one to the front, and I just set it outside. But I didn't put anything over it, nothing. I just set it outside, and it stayed. Because it was like in that evil energy towards me, you know what I mean, evil energy. And so that black tourmaline, it trapped them in, trapped them in that little bit of piece of black tourmaline, like it's round, like the size of a nickel. And so I just put it, I want to say a dime, but no, not a dime, a nickel. And anyways, and I just set it up there, and it stayed, because it was in that negative energy, that evil energy towards me. So it just, it left. It stayed out there. So you want to use that, during the rough times, the tough times that they're, really attacking you. Also, too, possibly, I've never done this with use the black tourmaline. They try to use it against you too, so you have to be careful with that. Especially the bigger pieces, you have to be extremely careful, because if you're not careful, they could use it against you. And so what I try to do is, because what it's meant for is to trap evil and negative energy, but somehow these people who are doing the spell work, against me, and, these entities that have been sent to me, they try to use it, I guess, through spell work. The ones that sent the attachment, they try to use it against you. You know what I mean? Because it says, out of a person or something. I don't know if you're, nobody's perfect, so you got to be very careful with that. But I would say, if you're being strongly attached, I haven't tried to use it during is it a psychic attack? When they're negatively impacting your body physically, and you feel pain somewhere, and you just sense that it's because of them, something they're doing to you, but it's like it hurts, or you can't take it, or like you want them to stop or something like that, or you're in prayer, you're like, oh my God, what is going on here? I would say, be around it, walk around it. Walk around that black tourmaline, come near it, see what happens, see if you can come any closer. Try to stay in a positive mindset. If you feel the negative energy, just be pushing with your energy, push against it, because that it is against the evil. It's against the evil. You're not in negative energy. You're just being yourself. And there, so come near it. If you feel that you can touch it, or just be cautious, okay? Because it's a very strong crystal. So just be careful. Some may be able to hold it, or what have you. Just be careful, and stand near it as much as you can. You may have to go in and out, like be near it and then go away from it and then come back to it, and so you can learn what you can do and what you can't. Okay, so do that. Also with these crystals, they do the same thing. They try to use the energy as negative against you. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've experienced, like strong energy, this being used against me strongly, or in a way that would be like, oh my God, I think I need to, get rid of these or something like that. But I was going to do that with the tourmaline, because they were trying to use it as a negative way. But what you have to do when they're doing that and you sense it's so negative, what you could do, what also stops that negative energy, just put your hand on it, make direct contact with it. As a way to, like, sometimes, and then they're using the negative energy, so I just grab it. I just grab these crystals like that, and it changes it. It'll change it from them using it, being able to use it negatively against you, to, it changing to you. So who's in the negative energy, because these are of high vibration. These are high, of the light, you know what I mean, or of high vibration. And so it changes it with the crystals, and then it changes it with the also that's a crystal as well, the black tourmaline. And if you're busy or something like that, then just grab them, wrap them up, and really good, the clothing, whatever materials, wrap it up really good, and put it far away from you, like 10 or plus feet, away from you. And put it like in a box, or a shoe box, something. Just cover it really, really good. Put it behind something, but cover it really, really, really well. I covered it with like paper towels first, and then wrapped it up, and then just as an extra way, and then put it in the box. These, and then with the black tourmaline, I had to cover them up really good and put them outside, because the black tourmaline is just real serious business. That ain't no joke. But that little small one is not that bad. That little black small one it's not that bad, because it came with these. And but that big one, this is that the bigger one, the black tourmaline. I had to leave that out, because it's too strong, and they're trying to use it against me negatively. I don't have time for that. I gotta sleep. I gotta do whatever. So, but so this has been just be, I'm still learning about these. Yesterday I was able to take them in my hand and individually, and for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just to see how they I'm gonna put them over here right now, because they're actually trying to use this. I don't have time for that. I need to get through this video, but so I put them in my hand for about 3 to 5 minutes each, as a way to just trying to get familiar with each one. And I actually was able to figure out which one for me right now is the strongest, or which one is lighter, and then, or some would say this one is weaker, but I would say my vibration is too low, and that's why it's not, that's why I'm not feeling it, or that's why it seems to be weak. I don't know, but I guess some of them are stronger, and some of them are, not as strong. But I was able to do that. So I held them in like one hand for at least 3 to 5 minutes, each one, and now by sight I'm able to tell which one is strongest. And I still have a set that's already the strongest, still holding on to that one, because this one seems to push them back really far, like far out there. I don't know what the name of this one is. I have a list of the crystals that they sent to me. So one is called red jasper, so I'm gonna assume that it's this one right here. Okay, I don't know the other ones. I don't know what their names are, but this one is the strongest, and I figured this out by testing it out, 3 to 5 minutes, and I noticed a difference. Like, I'm out, like, oh, this one's really strong, and it casted them away. I wasn't even paying attention, and when I started zooming in, I'm like, wait, they're being casted away. It seemed to be like really pushing them away. Something about opening the portal, sending them away, really casting them far out there, maybe back to where they came from, these entities. with this attachment that was sent to me. Let me see. And then you have another one, a stone of transformation. You got LAB, labradorite. I don't know. Let me spell it. LABRADORITE. LABRADORITE. I can't even pronounce this one. Labradorite. I'm sorry. And then there's smoky quartz. Okay, rose quartz, smoky quartz. That one is this one right here. So it looks like it's clear, but it looks like it's clear, but it's not. Smoky quartz. This one's pretty strong. So this is like strong. It's the rose quartz. So it's this one, the rose quartz. And there's another green one, and then this one. For me, that's that's been working, or what have you. So it's like, so rose quartz was the one. It looks like that one, but it's like more clear and it's pink. Black tourmaline. I just spoke about that. Oh, it's 36 minutes. Known as a gentle healer. Green fluorite. Okay, so now I'm learning their names. So the green one, that's the one that is working. Known as gentle healer, green fluorite. Okay, and then the other one is obsidian, OBSIDIAN. Okay, OBSIDIAN. All right, so there's that one. And then let me see, AMETHYST. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I'm not even gonna lie. AMETHYST. Amethyst. That might not be the right pronunciation. AMETHYST. And then there's hematite. HEMATITE. I'm gonna put this back in my hand because they're trying to reverse it. They're trying to change it. HEMA, or use it against me. Yeah. HEMATITE. Okay. Oh, here we go. It's this one. This one's really strong. It's called blue kyanite. This is kind of reminding me of something, but as biblical, like, yeah, BLUE, of course, blue. KY. The second word is KYANITE. Blue kyanite. Blue kyanite. This is really strong, but this is all they gave me. But when it came, it was like this. It broke. It was like one piece. Can you see that? It was one piece. It was like one piece, but it broke. And this is you would think, you know, so I'm like, well, if I had more of this one right here, so yeah, I guess that's all the stones that came in that bag, that little bag I had. But yeah, so it's the blue kyanite, KYANITE, blue kyanite, or however it's pronounced. For me, I'm sensing that it's one of the strongest crystals in that bag. Okay, in the bag of crystals that I got. Also, these are referred to as like healing crystals, as well. So that's why I said I wanted to, test them out and see which one worked for me. One helps with this, and I'll get into the details of like what they're for, what it says that they're for. I really didn't want to do that here. I just wanted to talk more about the different ways that I use to, deal with this situation. I'm already at 40 minutes. This video is possibly going to cut off, all right, because of the storage, on my phone. Something about, okay, so a quick checklist: clean the house, regularly, and then light candles in the main rooms. Like a living room and your room, the room that you sleep in. Let me see, incense each room in a circle. in one direction. But that's if you want to. I'm okay with like the candles and the main rooms. I'm okay, of course, with like cleaning up. I just did that, just getting into the habit of like doing that, and like the whole house. Something about I used yesterday, like these carpet like things that make it fresh, like these powders, to make it fresh. I had like this Glade powder, for the carpet, and the one I had was Hawaiian. It was Hawaiian. They have like orange. It may be different. I bought it some years ago, but Glade is the product that I had, and it was Hawaiian. And I'm putting it down just to make it different. Um, After I had already vacuumed and swept, the house. And I'm thinking just to freshen it up, just to make it different. And again, these spirits are like, I don't want to say they like mess and dirt. They like that. Okay. So, the more you clean up and stuff like that, it keeps them away. So, Glade carpet cleaner, or not a cleaner, but a powder like that you use for the vacuum. You're supposed to it's used to, you put it down, and then it's supposed to make it the fragrance really pop in your room, in your house, after you put the powder down, and then you're supposed to vacuum it. So as I'm putting it down, Hawaiian is the scent that I had. So I don't know if there's something specific about that, or it could be just period. I'm thinking probably period, just any of these carpet powders. And they were like, what are you doing? Like, you're changing things. You're really going to be changed, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, if you vacuum this up, we're going to be gone. Sometimes I don't know whether to believe them or whatever, but I really do believe them. Something about getting rid of them. I had this whole situation too with the garlic. I was peeling garlic, and once I was done with dispensing the shells and all that stuff, when you have to peel it off, all that. When I finished that and I dumped it in the trash, it's like I could hear that somehow it sucked them in, and they were in there. And if I had taken it out to the trash, they did say that take it out to the trash, it would have been even further. They would have been gone. So it's various different ways to do this, but of course it's like something about like if you eat it, or I don't know, like they're gonna fight you. So I took it, the ones that I had, and it was quite a bit of clothes, but I didn't care. I'm like, I'm gonna throw it, and it was more quiet when I threw all of it away. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it really, but I didn't take it out because it was really late. But yeah, all these different ways to at least get them off of you, to quiet them down, or to get them away from you, during serious attacks. You know what I mean? And serious times when they're really agitating you or doing something to you, especially any type of physical negative impact on your body or to your person. You know what I mean? Definitely. So of course they're talking about when they say go outside. This is some kind of serious things. I won't get into that, but using salt around the house, using the incense around the house, like that. That's if you feel like that's something you want to do. But yeah, so apparently that's something, if you want to try that, if you already have this carpet stuff, it's already at 43 minutes. I really didn't intend to go this long, but if you already have the carpet stuff, you could use that, and then the powders, and then just vacuum it up, because they were like scared about that, like they were like they knew that they were saying you're going to change your life, because they said we don't like this kind of stuff, we don't like this. So they'd rather you have trash, or you be messy, you know what I mean, not cleaning up, that type of stuff, and they'll stay around. So so I'm gonna try it. I have this thing where I use the vacuum in one room, and I like to produce the broom in another one, because this vacuum, I don't want to mess it up with, like, I have to do some carpet cleaning, need some carpet cleaning, so I just sweep in, you know, other this other room here. But I will vacuum like my hall in my room, but like in this room, this main room, you know, it's just the carpet is just so messed up. I don't even mess up my little vacuum here. But I do have another vacuum. I could use that. So I believe that method works. It sounds right. You're spraying it down. So then what happens is that you're vacuuming them up or something like that, like with that garlic thing, and then like, you know, with this, and then when I throw these away because they're in this, it zaps them like in that bowl, and then you put it in the trash. But be careful, not something about don't look directly into the bowl. Of salt when you're collecting it. You can I put a paper towel over it or something to cover it, or, you know, I make sure to look away or what have you, because it actually trapped them, and then they can actually, you know, get back into your body and stuff, and then it's the whole point is like messed up, you know. So anyways, when I look away and don't look directly into the bowl of glass of salt, and not of water, it's just plain salt in the glass bowl, and when I do that and I throw it away and I close that bag up, I can sense that they're, you know, they're in there. You know what I mean? And you definitely need to dispel it, go and take it and put it in the trash outside. Okay. And these are ways of, you know, getting rid of these spirits from them being too close to you or around you. And so sometimes you can still hear them because they're still attached to you. They're not gone, you know. This doesn't dispel them like 100%, unless it actually does. That'd be great. But you can still hear them. But then they even say, we can't do this to you, we can't do that to you. So I don't know like what happened, you know, spiritually. It you know, they're stopped or prevented from doing certain things to you, or, you know, what have you. So but it's still a good way. So these ways can help you, you know, because, you know, to stop certain attacks, you know what I mean. I do notice that in the daytime should be, you know, a better time maybe for you to sleep, or, you know, if you're not able to get any sleep or something like that, you put down your bowls of salt, maybe some glass water around the house. I'm sorry. Glass water around the house, you know, bowls of salt, you know, around the house. Again, like in the daytime, you want to dispel the bowls of salt and into the trash, because they're gonna it's not gonna be good after like 10 o'clock, you know, or and over and through the night, because they start inviting other spirits or something like that. When you have this type of spell work going on, people, they're always trying to look for some type of way to, you know, make your situation worse, you know what I mean? Especially if they're able to, you know, if they're able to monitoring you and stuff like that, and they're really trying to get you, whatever the reasons are that they sent the spell, that they sent the attachment to you. If they're really after, if there's an attack really on your life, you don't want to leave these bows around, or just in general. Because if that's a possibility that, you know, other spirits can come around and all this, and you're sleeping and all that. So yeah, I just had a real not good experience, like where they said that other spirits were like literally in my body and stuff like that, and I sense something like that, you know what I mean, whatever it was. So I just get rid of it, you know, before, you know, either nightfall, or get rid of it by 9 p.m. So yeah, so, you know, the glass of water or what have you, as well, you know. But the daytime, depending on what's going on, you know, is better, because at night is when they really, you know, start doing all kinds of stuff. Like they said, we're spirits of the night. So, you know, it just depends. These incense are good as well. You know, but keeping your house clean, that's one of the first things on this list. Clean the house. There's something about, okay, banishing incense. Banish, so incense every day, three days in a row, 7 days in a row, or 9 days in a row. So they're saying you can use these incense 3 days in a row, 7 days in a row, or 9 days straight in a row, to, like, you know, get rid of them or keep them away. These, you know, attachment is entities, these, you know, deities or whatever, keep them away. Says burn a little pine needle every day, or I don't even know what that is, pine needle. Burn a little pine needle every day, or mop the floor with pine saw or wipe down floor and walls with ammonia. So whatever you feel, you know, you could do that. So again, burn a little pine needle every day, or mop the floor with pine saw. I'm not a person to use pine. I can use pine saw, but I prefer the other, fancy smells. But I will be purchasing these pine saw. So I will be using this method with pine saw, or wipe down. So it says every day, or mop the floor with pine saw. So you can mop the floor with pine saw. If you know about the pine needle, every day you can do that. Burn a little pine needle every day. You can do that if you know about that, you're familiar about it, or you see it, and you're like, okay, I think I should do this. Or mop the floor with pine saw every day. Or wipe down the floor and walls with ammonia. I'm not a person for ammonia because bleach and ammonia is not a good combo, but just use them separately and be very careful with that. It says wipe down floor and walls with ammonia. Okay, you do this every day. It says dilute in a bucket of water. So I'm assuming the pine saw and the ammonia. Dilute it, okay, with a bucket of water and wipe down the floor and walls. So it says mop. I'm thinking it's saying just mop. So what I'm getting here is that you either use the pine saw and you mop the floor with pine saw. Let's just do it like that, start out with that if you want to do the pine saw route. If you don't want to do the pine saw route, go with wiping down the floor and walls with ammonia. Okay, so it's like either or. You wipe down the floor and the walls with ammonia, not just the floor, mopping the floor with ammonia, but also wiping down the floors. I'm sorry, also wiping down the walls. I'm not going to try that method. I just don't do ammonia, or at least I'm not going to try it now. I'd rather start out with the pine saw and just mopping the floor. And but who puts pine saw on walls? Like, no. I don't think that's so, but it says ammonia, so that's probably better. I don't know about, depending on the paint or something like that, I don't know. But and remember to dilute in a bucket of water. So just put a little bit more water, than you usually would, or less of this stuff than you usually would. Don't put a lot, I would assume. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, but I think it's separate. The pine saw and the ammonia, I think it's separate. Because I think it has a different effect. I think the pine saw has a different effect than the ammonia. And then the ammonia is the last thing on here, but it's not to be excused as if it's not the strongest. Because we all know that ammonia is strong. But I think the pine saw is something different about that. It has a different effect. So you want to use either or. Okay? Again, with the pine saw, you're just mopping the floors. And then with the ammonia, you are mopping the floors. You're wiping down floors and walls, etc. It says etc. So, your countertops too, I guess. And all the little stuff, refrigerator, all this, wiping all that stuff down with ammonia. So I would say just use one or the other. Because both would just be, a mix. Don't, you can wait till you know the effects of it, down the line, but don't use it. You want a strong effect. It has pine saw here first. But, and then they said with ammonia, after that. Okay, so that's my suggestion. That's what I would do. I'm going to be trying the pine saw, of course, see what that effect has. And I think, strongly here, you clean the house. Like they say, clean up. That's, that's what's going to help keep them away is, your environment being clean. These spirits or use a messy environment, a dirty environment. You might want to. And then what this is like, you're using a different method. So I like Faboliso and all-purpose cleaners and stuff like that. So instead of that, I'm going to be using this pine saw, or if I was to use the ammonia, I would be using that. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry, with my nose, it seems like somehow they're using some type of spell work, that's bothering me, or that they're around me and that they're trying to attack that area or something like that. That's more so what it seems to be. So sometimes I'm like, like my nose, but so yeah, just using new methods of new solutions are liquids to whatever to clean. I won't be using Fabuloso or all-purpose cleaner or even bleach. I don't bleach isn't used in here at all. They're not saying I don't know. They were saying don't ever use bleach or something like that. So I don't know what that is. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, but they're not mentioning it here. I haven't seen it being brought up, so I don't know. But yeah, just keep everything clean. Do it on a daily basis. Keep these salts around because it really helps. Keep it. Shower yourself. Or take a bath yourself. Your clothing as well, as much as you can. Keep those clean often as you can, rather. Because your environment and everything like that, everything from the head to the toe, really, I would suggest that. If you're a person that likes to wash your hair or washes your hair, what have you, these are things that I now have to really put myself in I have to push myself to do. Being lazy or whatever. Now it's like, this is what I need to do. So I'm finding that these things are effective. You know what I mean? Clean environment. There's black tourmaline, because it's in the back. It actually is keeping. It's like when I go to the bathroom, it's in the same direction as the bathroom. So sometimes any type of attacks or whatever, they do try to still use it, but the strength of it, but I'm able to recognize that that's what they're doing, and then send it back. Pretty much return. Have it to be reversed, because black tourmaline is for evil. So if if there was something serious, or whatever, I could go in there and it could actually stop them or pull them. Sometimes they're saying that they're being pulled is trying to take us to hell. So and I'm in the bathroom. So these are ways that I'm doing things, and wow, I'm almost at an hour, but these are things that I'm doing, and I'm sharing and talking about. Of course, you can look these things up, how to deal with attachments sent to you and entities. When I typed in the word entities is where I got a lot of information on YouTube, but I haven't really done it on Google. Type that in to find out how to go about in reading things. I need to do that. There's a lot of things I do need to do as I'm going through this experience and all of this, to find out how to combat it, how to fight it, how to what things to do that's going to work against it, to send it away. Okay, so but yeah, it's been I'm learning, with all of this. I'm learning what to do, learning how everything works and everything like that. So I think I'm gonna end it here with an hour and everything like that. You can watch some of the other videos. Maybe there's something there that would be helpful to you. Some of them are long, so you can either watch it fully through, or you can do some fast forwarding and just stick with stop at something that sounds interesting to you, or something that resonates with you. That you don't have to watch the whole thing unless you want to. Okay, and so yeah, these are ways that I'm using. I find that now that I'm out of my scrubs right now, because these are you have to really stock up on these. They're not that expensive, so I'm just using what I have, and what I have are these crystals. You know what I mean? So I'm learning them, figuring out what can I do until I'm able to re-up on these scrubs. You know what I mean? So or get some more of these. But and then again, I'm just trying them out too. So or else if I would have known, I would have been like, okay, let me get 6 of these or whatever. But yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm gonna end it at one hour or so, and yeah, just just various different ways. I am praying too, and reading the Bible. Actually, for me, my background is Christian, so they say something about when I read it, it casts them out, like through my eyes and stuff like that. So I don't know, certain people that believe different things, but that's what they're saying, and it do seem like it's a relief or something like that. So whatever ways work for you, whatever your beliefs are, or whatever it works, whatever is working for you, whatever you believe in, whatever works for you. But yeah, just take your time with certain things, learning certain things, and keep your environment clean, as much as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna get off of here. This video is already at an hour. Anything else, I'll share it on the next video that I do. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll have more coming up for you.